time. Five negatives. I mean, my grandfather passed away. He is a legend to me. I've talked about him quite a bit. I mean, Vietnam veteran, Korean War veteran, Purple Heart awardee, just an all-around amazing person. And the great thing that I learned still in his death is to make sure that you prepare for death and leave your relatives and loved ones comfortable. And he did that for my grandmother. And that is just, I mean, just a legacy that I will continue to pay attention to and note. And a funny story, I was home for the holidays in Tennessee at my grandparents' house, and I went to get a wrench because my grandmother wanted me to put up a new shower head. And I got out a few wrenches because it was hard to get off. When I took them back out to my granddad's shed, which is literally like it's just a work of art. I mean, anybody who's seen it, you just know it's quite amazing. And I thought I couldn't remember where I got the wrenches from. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know he's looking down from heaven saying, boy, you better get those wrenches right wherever you got them from. I mean, he was very particular about that. But still, that was a big loss for me and my family. And I know a lot of other people have lost loved ones, and my heart goes out to you and your family as well. Second negative, Trump. I mean, I knew a lot of people are racist and hold racist views and sexist views and homophobic views. And, part of it, I still thought Hillary Clinton was going to win. And the silent majority spoke, and it was clear that even if people aren't racist, that they definitely don't think enough of people who look like me and people who share other marginalized identities to care enough to vote against a person who is literally trying to make people second-class citizens and maintain that relegated status. And that's truly disheartening, and it's sad. And it's the reason why, unfortunately, as a sociologist, I will always have a job, is because of those sort of things. So, so I think about those sort of effects. The other thing that was interesting about Trump voters, a study came out showing that about half of them feel that blacks are less evolved genetically, I guess, intellectually, and those sort of things. And so it becomes interesting that we see these same stereotypes continue to be raised up over time. They just continue to persist. All the killings that have been publicized, I mean, has been another negative. And then two that were quite personal to me. One that was public, but one said that was really personal. Prince is my favorite entertainer. I mean, Prince passing away was it hit me hard this summer. I think I probably watched Purple Rain for something like 20 days straight or something, and left his poster that my wife got me underneath the TV for months. And I actually just hung it up because I just had it sitting out just looking at it. So I literally just put it up downstairs. And then the final thing was one of my sons my youngest son had a very bad asthmatic croup attack. And, we had to call the ambulance. 7 medical personnel had to be rushed into our home. One of the scariest moments of my life. And, I'm glad that he's okay. And, both of my sons have now been diagnosed with asthma. And then my other son, a few weeks before that, fell on the playground and broke his collarbone. So, I mean, there are always things going on. And part of this is reflecting. Businessman Sylvester Chisholm put out a video recently. He has a great book and a great platform. He's very successful in business with different things he does, from owning car washes to speaking to talking to people about how to develop businesses. And he talked about reflecting and then moving forward with that. Dr. Tanya Gulash-Boza, she talked about noting her accomplishments. This is something else that I do. This becomes very, very important to do, is to note your accomplishments. When you have those bad days or those bad weeks, you should have a list of things you've accomplished to let you know that you can still do certain things. So looking forward to 2017, you have to set goals. It's not about making resolutions. It's about setting goals. It's about controlling what you can. There are a lot of people who work really, really hard. And I hear this narrative all the time that if certain people work harder, they will be more successful. Man, that's hogwash. Man, inequality is pervasive and it is persistent, and it can be silent and it can be invisible, and it's there and it matters. But what we can do is exert some type of agency and try to work smarter. And I think these are some of the things that we can do. I know I always think about that. I might not be the most talented or the smartest, but I can outwork you and I can work smarter than other people and try to figure this out. Part of this is goal setting. And so studies show that throughout the day, we have 5 15-minute blocks where we don't do anything. We think we're doing something, we're just not doing anything. And I try to utilize those 5 15-minute blocks to be more productive than other people. I also have a huge whiteboard in my office that shows the things that I'm trying to get done. And every day I write down the things that I'm trying to accomplish, how long I think it's going to take me to do them. And then I mark through those things literally with a dry erase marker to let me know that I'm being successful that day, that I'm accomplishing something. And for academics, I have a publication plan that helps me to kind of outline the next 36 months of my career and try to do those sort of things. I mean, having grit and resiliency, yes, those sort of things matter. But looking forward to 2017, don't just make resolutions. Actually make lifestyle changes. Say, what other small things I can change that I can implement in my life to be more successful as I move forward. And success can mean several things. I mean, it doesn't have to be professional. It can mean spending more time with family. I mean, it can mean taking more time for yourself. It can mean working on different aspects of yourself. In social psychology, we have these terms about possible selves. One term is called possible selves. It's what can you possibly be in the future? And I think that's what we have to think about, is what is our possible self, right? What is the self that we're living now? And what can we actually do to move forward? So as always, conversations matter like Black Lives in Books. And I hope this has sparked one.